welcome everyone. Good morning. I'd like to start off. So this will be an information session with Ducere, just about our Bachelor of Applied Business programs. So my name is Tal. I'm an enrollment advisor here. I'll be going through everything today. And then we will also be joined by Danielle, who is our Chief Operating Officer. Unfortunately, Dr. Carolina is unavailable today, so she will not be joining us, but we will also have a special guest. So Natasha, she is a current student here at Ducere. So for today, basically we'll go a little bit through what Ducere's vision is. We'll go through our program overview, your learning experience, and we will hear from Natasha as well before moving on to a Q&A. So Ducere's vision here is basically to bridge the gap between education and industry relevancy by delivering applied, practical, and flexible online degrees. So the structure of our Bachelor of Applied Business programs, pretty much you've got your 18 core subjects and then your 6 elective subjects. So overall, you've got 24 subjects that you will be studying through your duration of the course. So that can either be done in an accelerated time frame of 2 years. So you're looking at about 3 subjects per intake, or you can take all the way up to 4 years if you did want to take your time with your studies as well. So to be eligible for our bachelor programs, really as long as you have completed year 12, that is fine. We don't take a look at ATAR, so there's no ATAR requirement at all. If you hadn't completed year 12, as long as you've got a Cert 4, so anything of an AQF level 4 or above is fine. And again, if you never really got the chance to study, you can still apply through 2 years of full-time experience. So any kind of work is fine, as long as you've had that full-time experience for at least 2 years. So with our tuition, pretty much if you are an Australian citizen, you will be eligible for fee help, where you don't have to pay anything up front at all. It'll all be done through the government, and pretty much you'll start paying that off through your taxable income once you start earning over a certain threshold. So the total amount is $55,680. That is the full price, but it is something that we recommend to everyone, is to apply for a 20% scholarship. It's just, you never really know. It's always good to get that opportunity, which would save you over at least $10,000. So it is something, we definitely would recommend for each and every one of you to apply for. And then we do have a few intakes throughout the year, because obviously different times work for different people. You might not have the chance to start in January. So we do have for next year an intake starting in January, April, July, and September. So a few reasons why people do look at studying with Ducere. One of the main ones is that we are 100% online and you won't have any exams. So we are solely assignment based. So if you are working full time, it does kind of help working around your timetable, just because you won't have to take a day off work to sit an exam. Another opportunity is that if you did want to study while you travel, you've also got that option, just because you won't have to come into a class, and you will never be graded on attendance either. So if you can never make any live webinars or anything like that, you can always watch them. They'll be recorded at a later date. So again, no ATAR, you don't have to worry about anything like that. Again, we are focused on practical industry relevant learning. So if you wanted to study anything that kind of piques your interest, or any kind of industry that you're working in as well at the moment, it is going to be different for every student. So it is completely customized for each and every person. So again, you can study from 2 years full-time up to 4 years part-time, and again, $0 up front with fee help. You will also have a dedicated support person with you, so your graduate coach, which Danielle will go through in a little bit as well. So we'll take a look at the differences really between the bachelor programs we've got. So we've got a few different majors that you can choose from. So you've got management, marketing, and entrepreneurship. So with these three, you will still have a lot of overlap. So some people might not be too sure which one they are looking to study, but you will still get all the fundamentals of each and every one of them. You'll still get a lot of, again, just overlapping subjects. So you will get to study a wide range of things, as well as if, for example, you wanted to study management, but big data is not a subject that you can pick from, you can always choose that in your elective subject. So if there's something you really want to study, you've always got that option doing a different major you can study as part of your elective. So we'll go through a bit of the learning experience support. So pretty much you will start off with an application that you will go through either myself or one of our other enrollment advisors, and we will walk you through the applications and scholarship steps. And then I will let Danielle speak for the rest of the experience.
Hi guys, I apologize in advance. My voice is very croaky. I've been losing it and it's come back enough that I can get in here on this webinar. Welcome to the webinar with Tal and myself. So once Tal mentioned you've completed your process for your application, is that you then move into my team. So Tal and the EAs organise an introduction to your graduate and academic coaches. So we have coaches that sit across our bachelor's and MBA space. And these guys are academics as well. So they're not just a student support piece. They're not just, well, we'll refer you to an academic or we'll do this. They're actually academics themselves. So if you're calling up with a question or a concern about your learning or how to structure things, their sole job is to help you work through that, and are able to answer 99% of the stuff on the spot, or be able to come back to you within a 24-hour period to be able to tell you what needs to be done if they need to gauge some advice. The good thing about our team is that we work from 9 till 8. So we start at 9 a.m. in the morning, going till 8 p.m. So we don't just work in a 9 to 5 time frame, which a lot of people, if they're working, is hard to do their study. So we're actually online till 8 p.m. So you've got support for 11 hours in your day, which is great. The team are always readily available to help you. We work on the premises of when we start a lot of our courses that we talk through what is the best way for you to study and what is the way that we can help you, support you through your process. So one of the easiest ways and what we recommend for our particular degrees is we run the 3 40-minute rule a day. So we recommend doing 40 minutes in the morning, 40 minutes at lunchtime, and 40 minutes in the afternoon, 5 days a week. If you actually run doing your study like this, you'll find completing your bachelor's quite easy and not stressful whatsoever. Those little bite-sized chunks are easier for your brain to absorb the information to then be able to go on and put it together in your assignments and so on. And you can, as I said earlier, you can call us at any time with any question. You know, I know it's very cliche to say there's no dumb questions, but we do get a lot of people who will ring us and say, I know how to do my assignment. I have all the information. I'm struggling to structure it, or how do I pull it together? How do we do those things? And this is what these guys will do. They'll sit with you. They'll help you pull it all together. And we also run multiple what we call academic skill workshops, where we teach you how to do that on top of your study. So the team run on Thursday and Friday evenings courses on how to do your study, how to put your assignments together, and then we'll help run checks on it. Excuse me. Which will help you in the long run, especially if we have a lot of our students go from doing a BA into an MBA. So we create all that groundwork. We don't kind of throw you in the deep end where you're just kind of left there flailing. That's not what we want. Our sole aim is to get you through your course. We don't want anyone failing. And so they'll be really good at calling you and being on you and saying, hey, how are you going? What's going on? How can we best support you? So they'll make sure that they're reminding you of your study. You'll get lots of notifications to say, hey, this is where you should be through your course, through your study for this assessment. If you need any help, reach out. It's really easy to book time with our academics and our academic coaches, depending on where you are in your study. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I do sound very croaky. So this is one of the benefits and one of the differentiation points between Ducere and other universities, is that we do offer these things. Once you're at the end of your course, you have the benefit that you get to go to graduation with our university partner, being Torrens. We have multiple graduations run for across the year for when you finish. So depending on if you're full-time or part-time of when you can hit your graduation, they will send you a personalised invitation and you get to attend and do the full palaver. It's not one of those things where you do it online, you get sent a certificate, you get to go wear your robes, do all the fun stuff and enjoy the day. I think that's kind of about it from me. I'm sure people will have more questions. So I'll pass it across to Natasha.
So now we will have Natasha speak a little bit about her experience. I'll just be asking her a few questions as we go. So Natasha, can you please tell us about your career path and what you are currently doing for work?
Hi everyone. I've done a lot of different things over my career thus far. So I've worked in the public service with Centrelink for 15 years doing management and investigations type work, done an about face and ended up working in the optical industry and then the healthcare industry. And for the last 2 years, I'm now in working in our local council. So in there, I've been involved in debt collection, but currently I'm working in incoming payments, which is quite a big section. We process around 3 million transactions a year, so it keeps me out of trouble.
Amazing, thanks for that. And so what was your motivation, would you say, for your study and why you kind of chose to go with Ducere?
So my main motivation for study would be I found it easy in my earlier years when I was younger, before children, to find management roles and be able to sit in those roles. And then I worked part-time for 20 years, bringing up my family and those types of things. Always had good jobs. And then since my kids have grown, I've really found it hard to get past the administration side and make that step into management. So I thought, well, maybe I'll formalise my qualifications. I knew I had the skills, but maybe, yeah, just doing the bachelor's degree might help me get that step further. And it already has. I mean, I've already moved from one step, or a couple of steps up from where I was from when I started. So that's been really good. My choice for Ducere was basically I hate exams. So I'd been a full-time student about 6 years ago. I stopped work for a year and was a full-time university student. And I don't retain knowledge like I used to. And I don't think that's applicable in today's, when we've got everything online. I don't see how memorising information, well, it certainly doesn't benefit me. So I love assignments. Well, I don't love them, but I can be more prepared, and it lets me prioritise my time better throughout the semester. So that was one of the main reasons.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I don't really think I know anyone that prefers to do exams rather than assignments. So that is a bonus. Perfect. So what is there kind of anything in specific that you enjoyed about the program and that helped you kind of move forward in your career as well, that helped you get that extra step up?
I've really enjoyed, there's many parts of it I've actually enjoyed, but I think the thing that I find most relevant is that nearly all the assignments that I've had to submit have been relevant to my workplace, or I've been able to base them around the workplace. So I think it makes it more real world than assignments that I did when I was a full-time student about, a company that had nothing to do with what I was doing on a daily basis. So I think that's been one of the key issues, or sort of brainstorming ideas even at work, I'll brainstorm ideas with my team about what I'm going to do for my next assignment. So it's I've really enjoyed that part of it and found that really, really useful.
Amazing. That's so good to hear. And another thing just about your support. So can you tell us a little bit about how the graduate coaches did help you throughout your studies as well?
Yeah, I've loved the graduate coaches. I think particularly when I first started in the degree, they were ringing me every week. At a certain time, they'd ring me, check up on me, make sure that, you know, I had everything I needed. Did I need additional help? And being my age and going into study, it was great to know that there was someone there if I needed that additional help, or someone to turn to, or if I had a question, I knew they were going to call me on Wednesday. I could ask then. So I never felt like I was lost. I thought it was funny, last semester I ended up with COVID, so I hadn't been online for a week or two, and all of a sudden I get this email, hey, just checking in. So I think Big Brother does watch. They know when you're online doing your studies, but it was nice to know.
We definitely do, Natasha. We're very acutely aware of where everyone's using and what you're doing.
I loved that. I thought it was nice to have someone check in and make sure and keep the motivation going. So I think that's a great trait.
Yeah, very nice. It's always good to have someone just kind of over your shoulder, making sure you're on the right track, which is good.
Yeah.
How can I just add to that? For like, obviously we're in quite uncertain times as well. So for someone like Natasha who's ended up with COVID, if people need extensions or need support during that time, the graduate coaches will do that. If, you know, if someone has really been hit hard with COVID and are bedridden and all the rest of it, a team makes sure that they're doing everything they can, that, you know, if you need extensions on assignments and so on as well. Natasha, I can't remember if we did one for you, but it's one of those things that we do look after you as well. It's not that your deadline's your deadline. We make sure that if you need the time, we get that time for you so you can have time to recover and worry about that and not worry about trying to get your next lot of work in.
Perfect. And can you kind of go a little bit into how you really balance that work-life balance as well as study on top of that?
I think one of the most important things is you have to enjoy it, because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to make the time to do it. So for me, with a family and working full time, I actually have a calendar and I plan my study each week. So I probably plan out the whole semester. So I know when assignments are due. I know what I need to do each day to reach, to reach those cutoffs and those deadlines. And I mean, it's only for the semesters being 10 weeks is fantastic because it's not so long either. But I'm able to prioritize. I'm able to adjust my social life around my assignments, around my studies. And I won't study every day of the week. I will study, I suppose that's not in keeping, but for me, it works out better that I can do it 3 days during the week. I'll do longer studies. I do a lot of study on the weekends, but I'm a morning person, so I'm up crack of dawn. So it's easy for me to get up and get it over and done with, and then I'm done for the day. But I found it really easy. Like I didn't even need an extension when I had COVID because it's self-paced and I didn't have any assignments due at that stage. I was able to easily catch up. So because it's self-paced, you're able to be more flexible. So I thought that was really good.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you for that. And yeah, so if you kind of had any advice for anyone looking to study, is kind of sitting on the fence, not sure if they'll have time, what kind of would you say to get around that?
It's a hard one because after I finished university, like when I quit uni like 6 years ago, I think I've sat on the fence for 6 years now. So I know exactly how you feel. You've got, trying to work out work-life balance. You've got kids, you've got work, you've got responsibilities. But for me, I wish I had have done it sooner, and just to have it done and not hanging in the back of my head, I suppose. But the beauty is you can change your study schedule to fit in with your life, and you can just do, I'm doing 3 subjects a semester, which is full-time, and that is a lot, but you are able to reduce that workload to fit in with your lifestyle. So I would say, if you're on the fence and it's not for any, real valid reasons apart from just being scared, I would say just do it. And you can always, well, I don't think you guys want to hear this, but you could always defer if it's not working out.
Yeah, look, that's right. Like, you've always got that option in the back of your head. You can always give it a go and see what happens from there. So definitely. Well, thank you so much, Natasha. That is all the questions I had for today. And yeah, so if anyone else has any questions, you can just type it in the Q&A section down at the bottom and we can go through any of those. So we've got a question from Mary. So if I can't complete the course, can I drop out with a formal qualification? So you have got exit points for the bachelor program. So you can end up with, you won't get a full bachelor's degree, but you can exit after a certain amount of subjects as well.
And those subjects can be used as a credit. So if you've completed that and you wanted to come back, you can credit back into the degree, or they're cross-institutionalized. You can be other universities.
Yeah, exactly. And then we've got another question from Jasmine. So if full-time is too much, can we drop to part-time? So yeah, you've definitely got that option. So it is quite flexible. If you start off full-time, so studying 3 subjects in an intake, and you just feel like it's too much work, you can always drop down to 1 or 2 subjects in that next intake, or as long as you do it within a couple of weeks of the intake, you've still got the option for that. Yeah. And we've also got a question for Natasha. So do you feel this degree has been worth it?
Oh, definitely. The amount of knowledge and skills and things that I've learned along the way, I've really been able to apply that in my workplace. Even some of the assignments, like I've shown my managers for things that we could change, and I don't know, I just found it really innovative, and things that you learn about personalities in your teams and team dynamics. And yeah, I've found it really useful.
Amazing. Perfect. All right. Well, it looks like that is all the questions so far. So again, if there's anything you feel like you didn't get a chance to ask, or something pops up later on, you can always come and ask any of the enrollment advisors for any extra help. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today, and we look forward to helping you achieve your study and career goals. Thanks everyone so much. And thank you for joining us, Danielle and Natasha.
Thank you.
A good one, guys.